Assalamu alaikum. I'm Naomi Saif. I'm going to be doing the mixed girl tag that I got from the Sewist from her channel. I'm going to include the questions that I got from her page on my description box. So if you want to participate, please feel free and let's share. So, what are you mixed with? First question, what do you mix with? I am Puerto Rican. However, if we know anything about Puerto Ricans, we know that Puerto Ricans and, we're mixed. So, what am I mixed with? I am half Spaniard. I am a quarter West African. I am about 10% Taino, Native American, and I have some Arabic. How do I know? Because I had my DNA done, subhanAllah, with Ancestry.com and with African Ancestry. So inshallah, I can include a copy of those results that I got. It was a very awesome experience. And inshallah, I wasn't able to go back into my West African roots because I'm African on my mom's side, also from Puerto Rico. And we need a male in the family. So inshallah. Okay. Question number 2, what ethnicity have you often been mistaken for? Growing up in Chicago, I think people pretty much knew that I was, Puerto Rican. Maybe sometimes people thought I was Dominican. But the only other ethnicity a few times that stood out to me were Egyptian. Egyptians that I worked for, they would ask me if I was Egyptian and tell me that I looked Egyptian. So there you go, Egyptian. I've been mistaken for being Egyptian. Alhamdulillah. Is your hair curly or straight? My hair is crazy, curly, frizzy. SubhanAllah. So, okay. So was coming from different backgrounds challenging growing up? It was a challenge for me growing up. However, I don't think it was because of my different backgrounds. I was not raised with my parents, and so it was the lack of self-knowledge. It was being mixed, being Puerto Rican. However, being mixed, I am a Caribbean mulatto, and not knowing what that is. What I experienced as a Puerto Rican was the typical, you look black, you got black hair, people not having enough education or knowledge to know that, I obviously was mixed. And at the same time, when I would, act black, why are you acting like that? You're Puerto Rican. So long story short, I think that what made growing up a challenge for me was not knowing anything about my background. I think had I known that I was, Afro, Spaniard, Arabic, Taino, I think if I would have known who I was, I might have been empowered. Only Allah knows, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, next question, which background do you embrace the most? I embrace all my backgrounds because they are all ingredients that make me. I am, they all equal to me. They all equal to me, being Puerto Rican. And, of course, on my Spaniard, I speak Spanish. I have a lot of the culture because of, being Puerto Rican. West African, I can't deny, it's in my DNA. It's in my blood. I have always had a love for Africa. Inshallah, one day I can find out, trace my lineage, and inshallah I'll go visit that country. Arabic, I have learned to embrace it because I didn't even know I had it until I got my results back. And then the more I thought about it, it made sense because Spain was a Muslim country for 800 years. And, I kind of look at Italians. I kind of look at all Southern Europeans different now. The Italians, the Portuguese, and the Spaniards. We were mixed with Arabic. So I embrace them all. Have you ever been teased for being different? I have been teased for being different. I have been teased for, but I think, I don't know, maybe most of us, maybe all of us have been teased at some point. I don't want to seem like I was you know, bullied severely, you know. However, I think that because of my unique situation, I wasn't raised with my family. So I think that if someone teased me and like, oh, look at her kinky hair, or, you know, look at her, you know, ashy elbows or anything like that, I kind of just took it more, you know, it just hit me a little bit harder. So I think that I was, you know, I would answer that question as yes, I was teased for being different, but I think we maybe all have. Have you ever been ashamed of being multiracial? I have not. And just for me, I don't know if this is going to cause any, you know, taboo or controversies or whatever. I don't believe in multiracial or biracial. I don't think you can be, you know, I think race is something that they made up in the West, you know, especially here in the United States, to make one good, one bad, to, you know, just, you know. But I would say multicultural, you know. I've never been ashamed of being multicultural, being Puerto Rican, being raised in Chicago. We have crazy pride. I have been confused, though, because of my West African roots, you know. So it wasn't until I got older and I did research that I finally was like, you know what, I'm not acting black. I am black, you know. So do you feel that being mixed has its benefits? I think that, once again, knowing who you are has its benefits. Everyone is mixed. I don't care if your ancestors came, if they were the Pilgrims, you know, if you trace your ancestry back to Great Britain, you're going to have some French, you're going to have, everyone is multi-ethnic. We are all mixed. We are all mixed with something. Even my husband, who he had his blood work done with African ancestry. He's from, his lineage is Guinea-Bissau, alhamdulillah. And we found, like, I forgot if it's 16% Scandinavian. So especially if you were born and raised here in the United States, you know, be it African American, you know, more than likely we, especially those of us that have African slave ancestry, we have slave master blood in us. We have slave master blood in us. And then if you take it on to the different continents, we are all mixed. So I guess it's just a matter of, you know, whether we realize it or not. So, and I think that if we look into our past, you know, yes, it's beneficial. What makes being multiracial, I'm going to say multicultural. What makes being multicultural a beautiful thing? To me, it gives you layers. It gives you layers. You have options. The more you know, the more options you have, the more, you know, it's a beautiful thing because it pulls you away from stereotypes. It's a beautiful thing because it empowers you and it encourages you to seek identity through self and through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not through the media, and not, you know, don't depend on BET to tell you, you know, how we're supposed to act if we're of African descent. Don't depend on Telemundo or Univision to tell us how to act if we are of Hispanic origin. Don't depend on ABC or NBC to tell us how to act as, you know, citizens of the United States. You know, being multicultural and embracing it and doing your research and gaining knowledge is beautiful, because it's like water to you. It's like you are a plant, and it gives you what you need in order to flourish. So, and also another a surah that I think of when I think about multicultures and how beautiful they are. I think of Surah 49:13, where it says, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, O mankind, indeed we have created for you from male and female and made you peoples and tribes that you may know one another. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has made us different, and we have mixed and mingled. Although we have mixed and mingled, we, you know, usually we identify ourselves in a tribe. But at the same time, that's how God intended, and He wants us to get to know each other. So I think that's beautiful. Any advice to someone who might be struggling with their multicultural identity? Educate yourself. Educate yourself, and just educate yourself. And when I say educate, I don't mean through the secular tools. I don't mean through school. I mean, go out and seek true knowledge. Start off with your parents and your grandparents, and see where it'll take you. If there are things about your culture that you're not sure of, research it. I wasn't raised with my parents, but the little that I knew, I just, maybe it's just me, I'm a nerd. I love to research, I love history, I love cultures, I love all those things. However, I think that those are the things that are going to empower you. I think that a lot of, especially the youth, struggle, because they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are, and they face this world, this dunya, that tells them that if they don't measure up to this unrealistic standard, that they are less than, that they are weak. And so I think that the advice that I would give is to shut yourself off from what the world tells you that you are, and ask God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to guide you, and to start off with learning more about yourself, and then learn about all the cultures that make you you. Because like I said, even if you are white, because that doesn't even exist, even if you're European, even if whatever, we are all mixed with different cultures. We are all mixed, and we come to the United States, and sometimes we feel pressure to conform and to forget our languages, and to forget the way we dressed, and forget our customs, and look down on our parents and our grandparents for following and trying to keep traditions alive. But those are the things that we need in order to remind us who we are. So, I think we need to keep that alive, educate ourselves, embrace ourselves, and empower ourselves. So, assalamu alaikum. Please join in, and I'm going to attach the questions like I said. And if you're mixed out there and you know it, tag you're it. Assalamu alaikum.